couple of years ago, I wrote a song for a Chilean for the biopic of a Chilean musician called Violeta Parra, a beautiful human being. And in her early success in the kind of folk scene in Chile, she decided to invest her money for her village, because her village just happened to have this beautiful mountain in the middle of it. And her idea was to make a yurt so that the poets and the musicians that were struggling and didn't have quite the success that she did could come like we are tonight and sing and talk together and watch the sunset go down. And she was saving to see the sunset. She went to Europe, she came here, she came to the UK, and she went to France. She was treated very badly. I'm sure hopefully she wouldn't be treated so badly, but a lot of racism. She was treated like a slave hand doing a turn. She didn't quite make the money that she wanted to make. She went back to Chile. She tried to release a couple more albums, and they'd kind of forgotten about her. She was in a series of really horrible relationships. She struggled. Her daughter once threatened to commit suicide, and she was so hardened by life at that point. She said to her daughter, "Estos tipos de cosas no se dicen, se hacen." These kind of things we don't say, we just do. And in 1964, Violeta did, and so she never made her yurt. She never made her money, but her currency now is, and I think now she's becoming really popular in this kind of new resurgence of Chilean folk music, and she's finding her place, and the currency that she did have is more valuable than ever. And I wanted to write a little song for her to put some kitty in that pot for her to see her sunset, and it's called Fortunes Never Earned. Thanks very much for listening to me. Hope you enjoy the night. Fortunes never earned, it's stolen. The poor rarely write their names. Now if I find a song, I will sing it and turn your way. We saved to see the sunset. We rode to read, we were not alone. Our father paid for our sister's wedding, afraid she'd grow old alone. We found faith. We've found faith in our city homes. I saw the human stains on every hand-carved throne. She looked down at her hands while the condor was passing. She looked down at her hands while the eagle was passing. She looked down at her babies while her time was passing. Know what you mean to me. We're so old now. We're so old now. Too old not to believe in our shared histories. We're so old now. We've found faith. We've found faith in our city homes. And we saved to see the sunset. And we wrote to read, we were not alone. And our father paid for our sister's wedding, afraid she'd grow old alone. We've found faith. We've found faith in our city homes. She looked down at her hands while the condor was passing. She looked down at her hands while the eagle was passing. She looked down at her babies while her time and the eagle were passing.